there. How are you? My name is Paul. I'm actually shooting this video from an institution that I will leave unnamed right now. And the reason for shooting this video is not because I'm sufficient of knowledge. It's not because that I know so much. In fact, to be honest, I do understand very well that I'm just a drop in an ocean. However, I also understand that God Himself uses the most unqualified to figure out the most important issues. So I do take this platform with all respect and with all honor, and believing that I will talk to everybody who is watching this, and with love, with genuineness, and with truth. I also, before I begin my topic, or rather a series of topics that maybe which will follow each other, one after the other, I want to say this. I'm very ready to be convinced otherwise if you hear whatever I say needs some addition or some correction. I think that's a good note to make because I'm not all-knowing. In fact, to be honest, I don't know so much, but I believe that whatever we are talking, it is corresponding to truth and coherent to the worldview, and not unless we understand that we may, keep arguing because of differences. We have a lot of these differences, probably ethnic differences, religional differences, even racial differences, but that is not my point. My point is we must be corresponding to truth and coherent to the worldview. Now, as we begin, we all understand what truth is, but I feel like this moment or this time we can be more specific on truth as a who and not a what. Because if you think of asking what truth is, you really will make a lot of assumptions when trying to define it. And therefore, we will stick with who is truth. We all know who claim to be the way, the truth, and the life. I don't have to keep emphasis on that. However, we also understand, according to the philosophers who we love so much because they do help us in some of the thinkings, according to the philosophers, truth must be in three: logical consistency, empirical adequacy, and experiential relevance. Is it logically consistent? Does it have empirical adequacy? And is it experiential relevance? So, ladies and gentlemen, as we begin this and as we proceed, let us think of any issues we may raise, whether they are corresponding to truth and also coherent to the worldview. You don't have to pluck some, claimed to be truths from somewhere, and maybe with it, it's relativism and bring all chaos and confusion here. So my point is, we are trying to deal with the absolutes. I know this is a relativistic worldview. There is a probability that it may sound prosaic, this world is full of hype and speed, but we are still struggling and still trying our best to do what we can because God have given us that power. I also want to say that many people would have recorded videos different places, but I want to be unique by saying I'm not in any side of, I don't know how to put it, but maybe I can say I'm not trying to be in one side in terms of relativism. However, I want to be an absolute, or rather dealing with absolutes, which, if I may be honest to you, ladies and gentlemen, I may be talking about some issues which I may be struggling with them too. That simply means truth itself, its cost is huge, but its conviction with compassion, it's indispensable. What did I say? I say the cost of truth is huge, but conviction with compassion is indispensable. And therefore, I believe that we will have a series of talks. We will have episode after the episode as we figure out what is truth itself, and also as we figure out what was offered by who claimed to be the way, the truth, and the life. I want to begin by saying distraction is easier than construction. Evil is naturally seductive, but good is naturally attractive. And as we know, if we can be honest, ladies and gentlemen, we are easily taken by seduction. And also, as we had that easier, destruction is easier than construction, we may like easy things. We like somehow to do things in an easy way. I remember when I was studying science back in the primary school, we were told that the use of pulleys is to make work easier. Nobody likes to make work hard. In fact, if we were to be asked, we would like a technology that could, yet we know that very well it is, the life right now as far as technology is concerned, it's somehow easier, but we would like it to be more easy, and therefore we are not surprised when we say that we are so much into destruction than construction. Think about how many people fall into traps just because whatever is being said sounds seductive. Think about that. I don't want to put any emphasis on it, but I know, ladies and gentlemen, we all understand that it is true, that the statement itself is true. I want to say this. I believe that this being the first video, to talk about this, I need to put a very clear platform and also a very clear starting place that we all will understand. The reason I open and allow people and different people from different places to probably tell me or give me their comments, and not just comments, we are used to comments, but their arguments, and let them, once again say, let them be corresponding to truth and coherent to the worldview. It's because God himself wanted there to be egalitarianism of people and elitism of ideas. That simply means the equality of people and different in their ideology, or rather in their thinking. And therefore, I know that I may be thinking this way and you may be thinking that way. That doesn't mean you're wrong in your thinking. Now, in fact, we should be having a diverse way of thinking so that we can grow our places, our country, our continents, and even the world at large. And therefore, I allow you, but once again I repeat, let it be corresponding to truth and coherent to the worldview. I also want to say that we cannot put aside religion. I know everybody must belong to a certain religion, and for those who say, there is no God, they must be believing in some force that keeps them moving. So we must be believing on some supreme being somewhere which keeps us moving. And therefore, when I say that we cannot put religion behind, I mean we have what we believe that drives us, and a certain force that is not controlled by human. It is just naturally there, and it is a supreme force. And therefore, when I talk of believing in that force, some may call it Allah, some may call it God, some may call it whatever you call it. We all believe that we believe in God in some sense, and therefore we will be guided by principles that, I often say, believe in a religion which brings you truth, and truth itself, it is in 4 questions of life. We have origin, we have meaning, we have morality, and we have destiny. Origin, where did you come from? Meaning, what is the meaning of you being alive and living? Morality, what helps you to define between good and evil? And destiny, what happens to human life when he or she dies? And therefore I ask you, with all due respect, take those 4 questions of life. If any religion answers you corresponding to truth and coherent to the worldview, you should follow that religion. And therefore, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to the following series. I probably may be saying, it is season 1, episode 1 of The Truth. Maybe I'll give it a topic by the name of Navigating with Truth, or something to do with truth, but I'll figure out. So this was to just welcome you and to make it open to you that we are going to do this. and I know that we will probably be together in some day in future. Thank you.